Bonjour, guten Nachmittag. Jennifer May, Colonel Bart, I would like to thank you very much for these welcome remarks, for this very warm welcome, and also for representing the two patrons of the German-Canadian concourse at this year's GCC, the ambassadors of Canada and Germany. We're gathering, as it was mentioned before, today for the 6th edition of the German-Canadian concourse on a topic with strong innovative potential for Germany and Canada. The growing success of the concourse as a recognized platform for transatlantic exchange is to a great deal owed to the continued and significant support from the embassies of Germany and Canada. 2017 has been a year of change for both embassies in the sense that we had a change of ambassadors. So we're very happy to give a warm welcome to Botschafterin Sabine Sparwasser and Ambassadeur Stéphane Dion as patrons of the GCC program after taking over office in Ottawa and Berlin this summer. We're very grateful for this commitment to the concourse, which keeps strengthening our brand. And I would like to ask you, Mrs. May, Mr. Bart, to convey our appreciations and our sincere regards to the ambassadors. I also would like to give a warm welcome, or to welcome the German Consulate General in Montreal as a new partner on the GCC program, this year formally representing the embassy at our event. I would like to ask you, Mr. Bart, once more to also pass on our thanks to Consul General Dr. Markus Lang, who was taking the GCC on board immediately after he was taking up his duties in Montreal during the summer as well. Bonjour, chers participants à Montréal, sehr geehrte Teilnehmer hier in Berlin. Hello and welcome to everybody who's following us over the live stream. En ce moment-là, Montréal est en train de joindre le GCC pour le lancement du part transatlantique de notre événement. Après que le groupe à Berlin a déjà complété le programme cadre pendant le matin avec une visite chez Airbus. Je souhaite la bienvenue à tous, soit au Canada, soit en Allemagne, à la conférence German-Canadian Concourse sur le sujet « La croissance du vol autonome ». Developments of Germany's and Canada's unmanned aerial infrastructure. We're looking back on a very successful year for the concourse program, striving to advance the German-Canadian cooperation on innovative topics. The GCC has received a growing attention from the private sector, but also from governmental organizations since our last gathering at the GCC 2016. Benefiting also from an excellent, positive political and societal climate which is connecting our two countries. The signing of the bilateral declaration of intent last year between Germany and Canada, between the Ministry for Economic Affairs and the National Research Council to stimulate innovation-driven collaboration, and also CETA, which entered into force last September. These two events have fostered the openness for transatlantic collaboration on forward-looking technologies. Wir freuen uns über ein ebenso großes Bekenntnis zum Ausbau der deutsch-kanadischen Beziehungen unter den Provinzen und Bundesländern wie auf föderaler Ebene. Dies drückt sich insbesondere in diesem Jahr dadurch aus, dass wir 3 Bundesländer, Provinzen als Partner in unserem Programm haben. Das ist einmal Bremen, Quebec und Bayern. Aviaspace Bremen, beauftragt vom Bremer Ministerium für Wirtschaft mit der Umsetzung der Luft- und Raumfahrtstrategie, ist mittlerweile ein fester Partner in unserem GCC-Programm. It has been Aviaspace who proposed during the debriefing of last year's GCC the topic on drones, drone-related topic for the event next year. So, scouting the theme in Canada and Germany, we recognized that the unmanned aerial system represent a multifaceted topic. We have been fascinated by the many concepts of autonomously flying platforms offering commercial services. While some of these applications seem to be very futuristic, strategic course setting needs to take place now. The development of an unmanned aerial infrastructure is therefore a very timely topic and poses technical, conceptual, and regulatory questions and challenges on both sides of the Atlantic. And I'm very happy that we had this morning a presentation of the Verband of Unbemannte Luftfahrt, and I see that we have the representative in our room today, because I understand there's a lot of activities going on in Germany, and there's a potential also to bring this abroad to other countries. During the upcoming presentations, the drone industry will showcase visionary concepts, but also very specific concepts for future services based on autonomously flying vehicles. These concepts will then be put into a regulatory context by our panelists from the German and Canadian Ministries of Transportation and Canada's Air Traffic Control Corporation. The German-Canadian Concourse, as a platform in a unique format, manages to put conference themes typically into a wider perspective, and therefore to attract not only the usual suspects amongst the experts, but also to add value by matching partners from different locations. And we're hoping to provide this added value to all participants in Montreal and Berlin as well. We hope to get insights from our different speakers about potential of cooperation. Benefiting, for example, from Canada's vast landmass, we will have a drone test range offering international partners the infrastructure for testing of UAV concepts. Interestingly enough, new German rules requiring a special permit to operate drones above a certain weight limit becomes of business interest to a Canadian online training provider who wants to offer the adequate qualification. A shipping company in the Arctic having specific requirements to operate drones on their vessels for additional situational awareness in ice fields will meet a German UAV manufacturer. A Berlin-based incubator will shed light on the startup ecosystems for drone-related businesses. La région de Montréal, un centre important du secteur aérospatial canadien, était le lieu préféré du comité d'organisation pour accueillir le GCC sur un projet aéronautique. Cela nous a fait grand plaisir d'avoir vu un grand enthousiasme parmi les partenaires québécois pour le format transatlantique du GCC. Nous apprécions particulièrement le soutien énorme par les ministères de l'économie, de la science et de l'innovation Québec, qui nous avons mis en contact avec les associations pertinentes, les acteurs industriels et les institutions universitaires de la province. Merci tout particulièrement à Madame Angie Yagmour pour son engagement extraordinaire pour le GCC. Also part of the Montreal region and representing yet another major aerospace area is the State of Bavaria Quebec office. We thank Herrn Benjamin Emans and Monsieur Frédéric Assenot for your collaboration on this year's GCC, and we look forward to cooperating with Bavaria in the future as well. Before closing, let me add a few remarks about our supporters of the program. I would like to thank, first of all, the Embassy of Canada, our partner from the very beginning on the GCC program. The GCC program, or the Embassy, has helped to establish a home base for the GCC program here in Berlin, and we appreciate your substantial investment in terms of funding, but also programmatic and logistic support that we're receiving year after year. So that is greatly appreciated. Further, I would like to thank the law firm McCarthy Tétrault, who is hosting and also generously catering the location, the GCC location in Montreal. So this is also highly appreciated. Aviaspace Bremen is inviting the concourse participants in Berlin after this symposium to a networking reception to the permanent representation of Bremen. Thank you very much for this as well. And likewise, we would like to thank the Consulate General in Montreal, the State of Bavaria Quebec office, and Avisio Conseil for hosting the reception in Montreal. Finally, I would like to thank the Institut d'Innovation et de Coopération en Aérospatiale Polytechnique Montréal, who have been a sponsor on this year's program. And well, we have a few more partners. We had Airbus and Rainer Stemmer Aero organizing the field trip in this morning, and there will be a field trip in Montreal organized by Humanitas Solutions, so it's great to have these organizations on board as well. So last but not least, I would like to give a warm welcome to all of our speakers and panelists. And having said this, it's time to hand over to Alexander Tam. Alexander is, well, he's a regular on our program. He's running the show for the fourth time now, and I trust that he will engage you into a very vivid and inspiring discussion in Montreal, in between both sides. Thank you very much.